Major funding for A Conversation About Caring is provided by the Harris Foundation, dedicated to helping America's seniors live healthier, happier, more fulfilling lives. The Harris Foundation, the will to do wonders. Additional funding provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Is it new, the things you learned? Are there new trends, new things happening, or has this been going on for a long, long time?
Caregiving has been going on for a real long, long time, absolutely. I think what's changed to a large degree is the circumstances around which we do caregiving. It's a bigger challenge, honestly, today, because when you think back several generations, it was very typical for families to live very close to each other. You know, the big deal in a generation ago, if you lived in the area of time that was near a big city as suburbs were growing, is at some point in time you left the city, you moved to the suburb. And actually I spent my childhood going back into the city to visit my grandparents because they stayed there. The generation before that, you all stayed together. Today's generations don't just move to the suburbs, they move across the country, they move across the world. Families are still very connected to each other emotionally, and it's more and more difficult to be connected to each other geographically. So that caregiving role is a harder and harder one, but still a very important one.
I think another thing that's different about now is this sense that the older generation was raised on community as much as what you've said. You know, we mostly grew up in, you know, intense urban environments and learned community as a way to do it. Boomers have kind of, you know, what we've seen in the last 50 years or 30 or 40 years is this incredible individualization of culture. Everyone, you know, everything in our culture is to make people, empower people on an individual level, which is a good thing. But it's what's gotten lost is that sense of community. And what we can learn from our parents through caregiving is a sense of community, is how to do community, because our parents know community. They grew up in it. And we can learn that from them through caregiving.
Is this a case of us learning to parent our parents?
I would say absolutely not. In my own story of caregiving, it was my dad for whom I had some responsibility as he got older and as he got sicker. And believe me, he will always be, even past in the grave, from the grave, he will always be my father. I am never going to be his parent. He may need help. He may need care. That is not the same thing as me parenting him. And in fact, our relationship in a caregiving role is absolutely going to be based in the family dynamics that we had throughout our lives.
It's not about parenting the parent, it's about empowering the parent. And that's what all of this is about. And that's what the whole role of caregiving is about, is like focusing on empowering this, you know, your parent as they're going through this transition in life, and as you're going through the transition with them.
Right.
So.
Who's caregiving? Who is the caregiver right now?
Well, if you look at statistics,
right,
what we have right now is a 46-year-old married woman who is most likely caring for her mother, and she is employed outside the home, and she likely has children under 18 for whom she is also responsible. Now that's the statistical analysis, but really I like Rosalind Carter's definition of a caregiver, which is, who are the caregivers? The caregivers are anyone who has been a caregiver, or will be a caregiver, or will need a caregiver, or is a caregiver. So it's all of us.
To learn more about how to start the caring conversation, download a comprehensive caregiver's handbook and watch the entire show online. Go to pbs.org/caringforyourparents. Major funding for A Conversation About Caring is provided by the Harris Foundation, dedicated to helping America's seniors live healthier, happier, more fulfilling lives. The Harris Foundation, the will to do wonders. Additional funding provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.